Inside No.9 is back on. We'll talk to Reece Shearsmith, but maybe we'll hear the trailer for the series first.
Who this time will visit number 9?
Did you not expect horrors such as these to unfold?
Hello, comfort support line.
With an all-star cast in a collection of deliciously unexpected short stories.
Let us link hands.
From the brilliant minds of Shearsmith and Pemberton.
Your reputations precede you, gentlemen.
A new series of Inside No.9.
You've got to demonstrate your brilliant mind now, Shearsmith.
Well, I know, according to that trailer.
How are you? All right?
I'm very good, thanks, yes.
Yeah, good. The series is back. Started last week with a great episode, La Couchette, which was set on board a sleeper. Is that something you've done? Did you draw from personal experience of trying to sleep on a sleeper train across Europe with that?
Well, I didn't, but Steve had recently done that very journey, so that was where he'd come back and he said, you know what's a good number 9? It would be a train compartment with people trying to get to sleep, yeah, so that's where that came from, yeah.
What is a good number 9? Is it, I mean, one of the things that seems to be, and I was thinking back to the first one I ever saw, which was set in a wardrobe, more or less, is it that sense of enclosure, that not being able to escape, people just bound together?
I think so, yeah. We wanted to write a little play for today's, really, and we went, and with a lot of claustrophobia. You know, that's what I think is funny. And if you can't leave, they're not all so cramped as wardrobes and trains. Some of them are whole houses, but nevertheless, once we're in the 9, we never leave it. That was the rules we set ourselves, and we just wanted to tell a good little story wherever that might be. And weirdly, consigning yourself to being trapped in that 9 actually becomes a little puzzle to try and it helps the writing in a way. It makes you more inventive.
Right. Was there any reason why it was the number 9? Is there any significance of 9?
No, none at all. We literally sat. We went, right, 1, no, 2, no. 3, no. Until we arrived. Happily, we said yes at 9, otherwise we'd be there today.
Right, okay. Was there anything that came near? Because 7 is a number that's often kind of got mystical qualities assigned to it, hasn't it?
I think it might have been 50 something at one point, but then we went back on 9. I don't know why. We just thought 9 just seemed to fit. In the mouth.
It said in that trailer, all-star cast. I mean, and obviously that was a great cast for that one because you had, as you say, the not at all typecast Jack Whitehall as the posh kid. And but also Mark Benton and Julie. I'm never quite sure. Is it Hesmond Hole?
I think you say Hulge.
Hulge.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I do anyway.
Yeah. So how and in the trailer, Alison Steadman looking terrifying.
Yes.
And Sheridan Smith in the one coming up. Do you have a wish list? How do you get all these people?
Well, we've worked with a lot of them, but also we don't write thinking of anyone, because then if you can't get them, you're always forever disappointed, thinking, oh, that was a shame, that person never did it. But then once we've cast it, once we think, right, now is the casting process. We put out the script. Often we just offer it to people that we like and think they could do it, and they've all said yes, it's great. I mean, and I always say, why are you doing this? You don't need to be doing this. And they say they respond to the script. They say it's a good script and it's great. I think it's appealing to just come and do a week. It's only a week long. Yeah, and that's how we get them.
Yeah, no, it is. And the other interesting thing, I mean, the first one in La Couchette, and then I watched the second one, 12 Days of Christie, which goes out this week. Yeah. Both you and Steve, you had fairly major parts in La Couchette and sort of very minor parts, at least in terms of screen time, particularly you in the 12 Days of Christie.
Yes, yeah, I know. Well, I think we didn't want people to think that they were like vanity projects and we're just turning up each week with a different wig on and hogging it. So we really wrote the stories and then we thought, is there a part in it for us, actually? And that way we get the best story rather than shoehorning ourselves in it. And we obviously do want to be in them because it is our thing, but we didn't mind taking a back seat when it was required. Gone are the days when I could have played younger parts. I'm old. So we have to recast people in the right age. It's not kind of like Sketchy where you could get away with it. So we wanted to kind of play our ages. So we're just happy to have really good people play the parts, and we are in most of the other ones. But yeah, we in varying degrees of role size.
Yeah. Do you have parts that seem very much kind of natural for you? When you're writing it, do you think, oh, that's a good Steve part, or that's a good me part? I mean, La Couchette seemed perfect for you, that part, because you seem to have a speciality of playing these very uptight and tight people. And, uptight characters. One of my favourites from League of Gentlemen was always Jeff Tipps,
Right, yes.
who was the most uptight man in the world,
That's
trying to tell
yeah.
jokes to his colleagues, which just end up in a rage. That sounds seems a seam that seems easy for you to mime. Well,
yes.
not easy, but
And I think it does. You. Yeah, absolutely. I've played a lot of angry characters characters, and in Mr. Jelly and Ollie Plimsolls and in League often are quite
was he the
very
legs
short-tempered.
Legs Akimbo theatre guy, wasn't
yes,
he? Yeah.
exactly, yeah. And I kind of enjoy playing people that get very cross very quickly.
Do you write parts for yourselves, or when you've finished and you look at the script, you think, actually, that is good for me, that point? Or do you...
A little bit. This one, weirdly, we did have a lot of situation where we'd arrive at the end of very short, up until filming, we weren't quite sure who would play which. Steve and I could, I think, probably, we are quite interchangeable with the way we write, because in the end, the characters that we've written for ourselves, there's a bit of both of us in them, so
right.
we probably could swap them around. And I think a couple of times in this series we've done not what you would expect. There's been an more obvious way round of playing it, Steve playing one, me playing the other, but we've gone the other way and done it slightly differently. So just to ring the changes a little bit. But yeah, never quite sure which one, who will play which until quite short notice, really. There was a point where we were thinking, really, almost the next day, shall we swap it round? And we didn't in the end. But yeah, it's always quite close to the wire.
Do you start with the story, or do you, an idea? I mean, how does a script begin?
Yeah, sometimes it's the 9 and the situation. Sometimes I wrote the seance one because I was just interested in seance. I've always been interested in kind of magic and seance.
Were you
and
a Ouija board
spiritualism.
kid?
Yeah, not quite doing them, but fascinated by it,
Yeah.
and spirit mediums and all that, and also the witch trial, which we've done, which is a 17th century one with David Warner. That's
number
another
3,
obsession.
isn't
That's
it?
episode 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that a new thing? Then you're kind of taking this historical. Is that, I can't remember from the last series. Was there a historical one in the last series?
No, there wasn't.
No.
It will be the first number 9 that's kind of a period piece, which is very exciting.
So that opens it out to limitless possibilities.
Yeah, of
then,
course.
doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the 9 could be. And episode 4 is set. The number 9 of episode 4 is a booth in a telephone call centre.
Right.
And that's really claustrophobic because that is literally the camera just pointing out of the booth, and whoever sits in it, that's what you get.
Right.
Because it's all CCTV footage. So really experimental, but you can kind of do it with an anthology series because each week it's a clean slate and you start again.
Yeah, indeed. Nicola Richards and Marianne in London both saying they very much enjoyed the previews of Inside No.9 at the BFI. You were doing that at the BFI, were you, Reece?
Oh, we showed 2 episodes, yes, at the BFI,
Yeah.
to a very nice crowd of people that were there and wanted to like it, and they did.
They did, indeed. Yeah. This week's is with Sherry. Oh, and also, you've just had a big award, and we should say that. Royal Television Society Award for Comedy Performance.
We did, yes. It was lovely because Steve and I have never in our careers been acknowledged for the acting.
Right.
And so it was lovely. It was the first time we'd been nominated for a performance award, and we won it, which was really pleasing. It
Was
great.
it just a general a performance of sort of composite of all the things? Was it for one thing in particular?
It was for number 9, yeah, for Inside No.9, the first series.
Right, and you've got a BAFTA nomination, I believe, as well.
We've got a BAFTA nomination for the writing of number 9, yeah, which is for last series, yeah, which is great as well.
So that'd be good if you got that, wouldn't it?
That'd
That'd be nice
great.
bookends, wouldn't it?
It
A writing one and an acting one.
It would, yes. It's lovely to be at the awards, and just to even get a nomination is great. It makes you realise someone has noticed it.
Yeah. Are you gutted when you don't win? I'm not predicting that you won't win, but I mean,
yeah. Well, the nights are always a lot better when you've won,
aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they? They really are.
When you've lost, you just want to go home immediately. Why did I? And you always think, they're stupid, these awards. They don't mean anything.
I know.
If you win, yeah, all the right people are winning this time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This week, I mean, I advise people if they haven't seen La Couchette to catch up with that on the iPlayer. But this week's, which goes out on Thursday, which I watched this morning, which stars Sheridan Smith, who is, of course, brilliant as always. I mean, and also Michelle Dotrice, and we were just remembering she was the little girl in Mary Poppins.
Yes, she was. Yeah, and of course Betty.
That's right.
And in Some Others Do Have Them, and she was the girl in Blood on Satan's Claw, which is a very little. Well, not if you meet, you know it very well, but it might be a little known horror film from the 70s. I tried to get a conversation about it, but she said I've got no memory of it.
Really?
Yeah.
She said anything about Mary? Was she in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang as well?
I don't know about that.
No, okay. So you didn't tell you any Mary Poppins?
No, I didn't grill her on that, no.
But this one is, I mean, it's extraordinary because I was watching it thinking, blimey, this is like, the number 9 here is a flat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a flat. But it's a whole life story, like at least a film's worth of stuff or a series worth of stuff compacted into 28 minutes very ingeniously with the changes it makes.
Absolutely, yeah. We wanted, and it was, it was really great to get Sheridan because we thought we need someone that would really grip you and you'll you'll care about that character as it goes through her all these extraordinary things that happen in her life. So it was lovely that she said yes. I think she'd wanted to do something in the last episode series, but we couldn't make the dates work. But she wanted to do this one, so it was great to get her.
And one of the things I like about this was the sort of degree of malevolence is kind of ambivalent, really, isn't it? You're not sure quite what's gone on at the end of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, we wanted, we were kind of, we decided not to make every single one of these a complete twist in the tail, because we just thought that becomes a bit, you're just sat trying to second guess it, and if you guess it or you think you've guessed it, then or even if you're not happy with the way it ends, you might think that you write off the episode like it wasn't very good, and the last 27 minutes has been a waste of time. Yeah. So we thought if they're just good stories, then that will keep you hooked for the entire thing. You're not just waiting on the last 2 seconds to be wowed. But I think this is a really good episode. It's one of the best things we've written, I think, and it's not necessarily the funniest thing, but I think it is one of the most kind of powerful things we've written.
Well, you touch an interesting point there as well. It's not one of the funniest things. I mean, there may be some people who watch it and think, and this is not a criticism, it's not funny at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, are you relaxed when you start this? Do you think we'll make this a funny one to balance it up, or does the humour emerge or not as you're going along?
It does really, yeah. It kind of there's a pass where we're thinking only of the story and getting out the beats of each scene and what you need to kind of put in there to get the story moving along. But then there's a pass where it's like, right, is it funny enough? What's the funny thing of this? And that sometimes is easier than other times. And this one just didn't seem to bear kind of shoehorning in comedy, because it felt very real and human, kind of not really a parody of anything, not really kind of grotesque. It was just felt quite a real life situation. So we didn't really any humour in it comes from kind of the reality. I think the jokes people make in real life, rather than kind of it being overtly comic. So I think it just comes out of what we're writing really. The next week, the Witchfinder one is very silly, I think. Right. But it's hard to parody a witch trial because they were so outrageous anyway, what they were doing.
I know.
But so the varying degrees that's the lovely thing about this series. I think it's such different tone to each one. You couldn't get more different to La Couchette than this week.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I've seen the first two, and you're quite right. Well, look, I mean, everybody watch that on Thursday, because it's an amazing piece of work by all concerned, I think. So, what else are you up to, Reece? The 6 episodes of this are the six number 9s.
Yeah,
now.
6 number 9s, and I'm filming with Julia Davis at the minute. They're doing. They're returning with Hunderby, which is a great thing she did, and I've been very delighted to be asked to be part of that, so I'm filming with her. Yeah, okay. And Steve and I are writing a new, I can't quite say what it is yet, I don't think I'm allowed, but we've got a prestigious writing project to do, which is exciting for us. Okay. So, it's busy.
Good stuff. Well, good luck at the BAFTAs.
Thank you very much.
And well done on this, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Reece.
Take care. Bye-bye.